Hello everyone and welcome back. So based on the last time I'm thinking I'm going off on a completely wrong angle of trying to do some kind of weird sort of platforming jumps and whatnot to get both pillars activated at the same time, because after having a bit of a look around after what must have been the sort of 10 or 15th attempt at the thing, I did manage to find a lever, which I'm pretty sure is the one that I was looking for in the first place, and I just completely missed it. So fingers crossed this does actually activate. Yep, there we go. So that activates the steps and saves me a lot of hassle. The very slow steps though, but still. So similar to before, we've got some weird drunken effect. I'm not entirely sure what those people are supposed to represent. Oh, have we well, that's kind of handy. I wasn't particularly looking forward to retracing my steps all the way back, but I'll certainly take a useful teleporting shortcut. So we can put the third one, I think was possibly... oh, it does it for me, fair enough. So we're up to 3 of 6, 50%. What's doing? And we've unlocked yet another sigil icon, so we're making our way through those pretty quickly. I think there was... that was the skull, wasn't it? Which we don't yet have, although we have picked up quite a number. So we might actually be able to unlock some of the other doors that we were struggling with. Now, if I bring my map up, does that tell me where the doors are that I'm missing? So, for example, that was the... let's try it this way. That was the sort of hammer. So the one we just picked up, I think, is over there, which is near the open top temple. And there does seem to be a similar one over here as well. And is it showing me the skull door so I can get a reference? It is not. But I think we're probably... I think we're up here if I recall correctly. So if we nip back this way, I don't recall if there were any... there might have been some doors to the side of us. And we certainly came in over there, I think it was. Or off to a side there. So there was a door over here, wasn't there? Which is definitely not opening. And there's no handy pillars to allow it to open. Although if it's anything like that one, you're not supposed to open it, and the only way we managed to get around that one was the side entrance that got blocked off by that rock slide. So there wasn't anything else here, was there? It's been quite a while and I've semi-forgotten what was around this particular area. I don't think there's anything... so that's one set of doors. And we could certainly use our newfound sigil, I think, on this one. Like so. And then this one on the opposite side was... good question. It was the... was it? No, that doesn't look quite right either. Oh, I think it was the sort of the semi-arrowhead type one, which we don't seem to have yet. So we'll skip that. But we can certainly have a look through this doorway and see what's in here. Now, judging by the map, it's a bit of a dead end, so I'm not entirely sure what we're going to find. Oh, it's a shortcut. Excellent. So presumably if we go back, that will pop us back out again. But yeah, it's essentially a underground shortcut. Very handy if we're looking to get around. Which means we have... I think we did manage to go through the wheel door. And we haven't found the arrowhead, but we do have the leaf. We do have the leaf, so we could certainly go through that one next. Although there are a few more bits and pieces to the south which I don't think we've discovered just yet, so we can certainly go ahead and do those. And then looking at this then, the sort of arrowhead door is going to link up down here, which is great. We can then explore that area as and when we find it. I'm just wondering if we... Yeah, I'm sure we did this bit as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had to... we came in by the boat, didn't we? I'm wondering if it's worth just having a quick nip down there anyway again, just to make sure I definitely did this particular part. But no, I think we covered that. So what we can do then is we can have a look at this southern area here, which would be, I think, this direction. We definitely went up to the top of that open bit there and had the nice sort of panoramic view of how it looks. That doesn't sound particularly good. Well, okay, we'll carry on. Well, something... Okay, so... Right, well the light doesn't scare him away, so we've discovered that. And also, if I'm seeing that properly, that looks very similar to the sort of the beaked robe figure of the almost the plague doctor type person. So are we in the same? We're in the same place. Does that mean that this area is off limits? As in, if I keep pushing my way into it, is he going to be increasingly more annoyed with me? I think we're going back on ourselves. Or are we? No, maybe not. I don't think we've been here before. This, I have to say, this map could really use a sort of "you are here" type icon. Let's close this off because that's what we've been doing so far, and it seems like a reasonable way to do things. And we can certainly make use of these. Yep, that's good enough. So this pretty much confirms, I think, what we guessed at before, in that the sort of the rocks that we've been digging up from the ground get put into this amber-coloured liquid. So where on earth exactly are we then? Well, by the water, but that doesn't really help us too terribly much. I think we are about here, possibly. So that's what we've just covered back up again. So if we carry on, we're going to get to these 4 pillar type shapes. No, over this way I think, around the tree. That just looks like a rocky... He's here again, isn't he? Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to be here. I think this guy is definitely marking his territory and we're not supposed to be here. Is he following? Yeah, he's significantly faster than we are. Nope, okay, fine. Yep, point taken, thank you. Right, so now that kind of looks like a coffin. So I'm wondering if this wasn't the sort of the burial site down the river where all the people got sent. And obviously he's, I guess, not too happy about us hanging around that area, so sure, we'll avoid that for the time being, and instead we'll see if we can find something over in this particular area. And if he still has a problem with it, then okay, we'll just ignore the whole lot and count it out for now. So I think we have to go a bit further over. Now this was the marketplace, wasn't it? Which was over here, possibly? So if we go south from here, that should be okay. Well, fingers crossed anyway. We can grow these to get up to the top of this derelict building. There's nothing else particularly interesting in here, is there? We could probably use a few more refills if they're around. Nope. Maybe there's some on the outside. We've got another doorway. Let's figure out which one this is, and hopefully that'll help us orient ourselves slightly better. So that looks like... that can't be right, can it? So that's this particular symbol, if I'm looking at it correctly, but I thought we were down here somewhere. So that doesn't make sense, or at least it's not marked on the map anyway. But if we... yeah, we match up. I mean, we just came from here. So unless we sort of skirted upwards this way... I mean, it's possible I got myself completely turned around, but I don't think that was quite the way we were looking for. Yep, standard practice, so they're busy adding the rocks to the heat forges that we've seen around. Nope, nothing else here. Well, we'll nip back and we can have a look at the upstairs through that grow ladder that we missed out, and then we'll come back through that doorway and see if we can't figure out exactly where we are. There doesn't seem to be much here apart from... okay, so it's just a sort of a diagram of using the batteries in the pillars, which we already knew, but doesn't hurt to verify. And we've got another shard. We've got 5 of those, and I'm still not sure what we're supposed to be using this for. But if we can collect them, we may as well do so. They don't seem to hamper us in any way. Oh, okay. I wasn't intending to fall down, but fine. So... that's an area we're going to avoid. It doesn't look like we can close it off just yet. That is... see, that looks like it's this particular area here, which makes sense. I mean, that's where I thought we were angling ourselves for. So the door with this symbol looks like it should be about here, but there's definitely nothing on the map. So I'm guessing maybe these particular doors are just shortcut doors, and other ones that we need to open up just aren't shown on the map at all. Could be right. Well, we expended some juice in order to get through it, so we may as well have a look through and figure out what it's all about. If I'm right, it's taking us into this area here, which looks semi-blocked off. There is a boat. I don't know whether we can access the boat, but this looks like a sort of reasonably contained area. So we might be able to just have a look through, see if there's anything of interest, and then come back over and carry on exploring. This is some kind of viaduct, maybe? Wastewater pipe out to the river, which has pretty much dried up by the looks of it. So this could be another possible side effect of all that mineral mining and the herb growing. Maybe they overplanted and they ended up drying up their water supply, possibly. Although we have seen fairly abundant rivers in other areas, possibly not. Now that would be this area, I think. Well, certainly that shoreline. Interesting below ground ruins. Nothing of particular note, unfortunately. There's no additional cellar entrance that we could have a look. Nope. It's definitely worth keeping an eye out for some more refills, though. We could certainly use those. So it's not entirely a waste then to sort of explore those buildings. There might be something of use in them, certainly. That looks like another green glow, so that's probably the fourth of the 6 pieces we're looking for. We're okay on health, so I'm not going to waste any juice growing those particular plants. Yeah, definitely some kind of passage system with all these pillars and structures. And this is, yeah, very much dried out. No, I think we're at the boundary edge here, so we can basically sort of skirt along this particular bit, and that covers pretty much the whole terrain. So we've had a look at everything this area has to offer. That's connected to here. I'm not being able to use this, although it looks like I should be able to do something with it. Perhaps up here. Oh, okay, here we go. So it's a... Now, is this going to require a lot of battery power? No, it doesn't seem to use the battery, so we can experiment as we like, which is great. Okay, it's... I'm not sure we need to actually do this, but it might provide a useful clue, so we can do. But it's the standard different levels of water, and presumably you have to get each of them into the... so the main container has to have just 4. Right, how do we go about doing that? I think we need to put... Now, truth be told, whenever I've done these previously, I've just basically experimented with it until it clicks into place. But there is a definite way of doing it, isn't there? Now we've got 2, 3, and 3 in the various containers. I want to end up with just 1 in one of them, though. That would be the most useful. Let's put all of them back into the central one and start again. So we can get increments of 3, 5 and 2. That doesn't necessarily help us get 4 out of them though. Let's put 5 into here. That's not quite... Alright, I'll have a think on this one. It will just basically require a bit of paper and pencil and working out the numbers, but that's something I can do in the off time. I'll come back to that one. It's not immediately urgent, I don't think, so we can certainly skip it for the time being. Right, well that would appear to be everything, so let's go have a look at our green glow. Okay, so we need to direct water in some fashion. Can we just skip over all this? Let's get rid of... No, these are the only rocks we can't seem to push out the way. So, fine. But it looks like it would be useful to get water into this central area so that we can then presumably swim across and pick up our other piece over there. So let's see if we can't figure out how we get water in here in the first place then, and then we can direct it where it needs to go. Could be this direction. These don't turn yet, so we're not getting anything flowing in, presumably. That's probably the diagram that we need to follow by the looks of it. And that would seem to indicate that that would be the central square. So we're supposed to get water coming in from this bottom right hand side, maybe? And then it flows out the top left into... I'm not seeing it, but that could be right. And that's just a blank diagram. Okay, well let's go back down to the bottom right there and see if we can't, maybe water comes in that way and we just missed it. So presumably around here somewhere. That's not active yet either. I'm wondering if the diamonds on the side light up if it has water flowing through it. But I'm guessing maybe that aqueduct needs to actually... Well, it does look blocked off though. Doesn't look like you get much coming through there. So map says that we're in this particular area. And we should have, well, according to the map anyway, we should have water coming in. We don't, so perhaps we can find out why we don't. There's nothing we can see over in that direction, I don't think. I think that's all a dead end. Although this, this screen glare is making it incredibly difficult to actually see what I'm supposed to be looking at. But no, I think that's probably a dead end by the looks of it. Nothing over there. Nope. So I guess our other option then is to have a look up the top here and see if we can't see anything from there. But yeah, presumably these are the sort of the prongs we could see on the map that are supposed to be filled with water, but they just aren't. So if we go... Can we fall into these? We can, but we just walk out again, so that's fair enough then. So yeah, definitely water going to feed the crops, and it's just not working at the moment. This is... So that's the one we've already seen. That is a secondary one. That wasn't me. But there was definite footsteps, wasn't there? Okay. Right, so that's the second picture, and that does show water flowing in. The two don't match up in any way, do they? Or do they? Okay, so maybe if we have water coming in from this top left and it's actually going out via the bottom right and then coming in here from the bottom left and then eventually working its way upwards. So perhaps there's a third diagram somewhere which it tells us how we're supposed to get water into that top left area, or maybe that's just where it flows in from. So it should be over here then somewhere, presumably. We could go up there, that looks promising, so we might try that in a second. This is just more of what should be happening but isn't. And then... Whoops. So yeah, we should be getting water in here maybe then if the diagram is accurate. Right. Okay, so maybe we have to nip upstairs then and see if we can't turn something on. That one's blocked off, so we're not going to get anything through there. We'll take that, thank you kindly. Yep, same picture, more water. Okay, so we're going to carry on some more if possible. Yep, we can go up another flight of steps. Well, I'm definitely going to be in shape after this, if nothing else. Presumably it should be coming through there, so let's try and work our way around maybe. Or... I don't know if we want to go up. Maybe if we go underground, that might help. Can we go down? No, this is one way only. Well, upwards only. Well, Okay, we have no alternative, so we'll follow this. Whoops. Very, very slowly. It doesn't like me doing it, but we got there in the end. So that would activate this, and we presumably, if that's similar to the previous one, it just basically opens up and we drop down by the looks of it. Or we could just stroll down the stairs, even better. That looks useful, let's go have a look at that. Okay, let's find out what it wants to tell us. Oh. Yeah, I'd be a bit upset too, to be honest. That doesn't look... that looks like some severe deterioration there, very rapidly. Well, I don't think they like being told that their plant is possibly the cause of this affliction. Sometimes people don't want to hear the unpleasant truths, unfortunately. Okay, all well and good, but that doesn't particularly help us with our goal of getting the water flowing. Whoa! That was a bit unexpected, but at least we're where we should be, I think. Right, that's not openable. We can't make our way up to there just yet by the looks of it. So I guess we'll take the only option available to us then, which is this one over here. Happy skeleton or terrified skeleton? Slide this. Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems to have done it. So presumably the water level is... Oh, having trouble with this. Water level is high enough we can now escape out that. I still wonder what this is all about. Maybe if it gets high enough the flotation device will trigger this mechanism. Excuse me. And that opens the floodgates, which is then going to flood the lower area? Could be. Yes, this would be a second. I mean, I'm pretty sure with that water pressure behind it, those few twigs would have been swept away in the first place, but never mind. And there's a handy indication that this is definitely trying to do something, but it's not quite having the desired effect. So we'll swim over and figure out what's gone wrong. Okay. Oh, okay, it was just stuck. I managed to dislodge. And that has indeed opened that up for us. Hopefully we get out of here before we drown. Alright, good stuff. So now we have the fun task of directing all that water flow through the channels. Right, well that is definitely for another time, I think. What I'm going to do is also have a think about the efficient way to solve that water level puzzle we found down below, and I can come back and do that as well, and then yeah, next time we can have the possibly unenviable task of running around directing water channels and water flow and eventually get our next piece out of it. So I will see you for that then.